It's your boy, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's. And before we get into the video for today, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy in all social medias for more. And I'm back with my second video in my series Remembering Lil Peep, which is a series where I touch on various aspects of the late artist's career. These aren't really focused on his death, rather I'm choosing to focus on the artist he was. And first off, I want to pay my respects to Peep and his family. It really can't be said how much of a tragedy his passing was. In this video, I'm basically going to be discussing where Peep would have gone in his career, essentially if he was gonna blow up or not. Now of course, this video is pure speculation. However, as someone who was following Peep very heavily before and after his death, and also with my knowledge of the scene he was in, I think I can utilize my knowledge to make some informed assessments and have a decent discussion. There's no doubt that since Peep's passing, his music has blown to a whole other level. It's pretty crazy to see awful things at nearly 100 million views, considering that before his passing, if a video of his was even at just 1 or 2 mil, it was considered pretty good. Although Peep wouldn't be at that level right now in his career, what it does show is the potential of his music to connect with large audiences. But this begs a question: would Peep have ever blown up and gotten into the mainstream if he didn't pass? And there's a strong chance that it would have happened eventually, and here's why. As with any new sound that gets ushered into hip hop, it has its time bubbling and surfacing in the underground before the right artist comes along with the right song, hook, or meme to explode that sound beyond the underground confines. We've seen it happen with yadiiiigg, Cardi, and Uzi, who out of the dozens of bubbling SoundCloud artists in 2015 to 16 were the ones to make it out. And again, we've seen it with the likes of Pump and Smoke Perp, who out of the more recent SoundCloud wave were the ones to blow. And I believe Peep was the one for this punk rock hip hop wave, or whatever you want to call it. This music was connected on such a level with people across the world to where it was inevitable that someone with the right hook, song, or meme came along and took this sound to the mainstream. But why Peep? Well, firstly, when you look at it from a pure numbers perspective, Peep was a clear front runner in this scene. He was bigger than anyone else in his respective lane, and there's no way you could argue that. I'm not necessarily comparing him to Bones, Suicide Boys, Night Lavelle, Ghostmane, or people like that, as I think they make vastly different music, but more so in comparison to your Brennan Savages, your Lil Lotuses, and your Goth Boy Clicks. Out of those who made similar music to Peep, Peep was clearly the biggest. Furthermore, an artist's image is one that plays just as vital role as music does today in helping them blow. Pump and Perp were able to manipulate memes and social media to make them pop. Yachty's marketing with his clean image and red hair made him perfect for young ears and instantly recognizable. And then someone like G-Eazy's image and his appeal to girls is something that helped him take off immensely. But where does Peep fall into this? Well, Peep had his image down pat. One look at Peep made him instantly recognizable to begin with, and because of his image and his looks, it also made him a teenage heartthrob to girls all over the world, like on some underground G-Eazy type shit. Look at the audiences from his shows and you would have thought it was a Bryson Tiller concert with the amount of white girls there. It's crazy. His aesthetic was the one that stood out even in the swarms of dyed-haired, face-tattooed artists today, and this, plus his appeal to girls, are major reasons as to why Peep could have blown. Thirdly, Peep was one of the few people in the scene that was signed to a label. This is important because often artists coming from the underground need that label support to cross over to the mainstream. Yachty needed QC and Coach K, Cardi needed Interscope and Org, etc, etc. And I think in Peep's case, a label would have helped with that push to translate an internet smash to a mainstream hit when the right time came for Peep. And furthermore, Peep was only getting more and more popular. I think some people have forgot, but before his death, there was still a decent amount of hate for Peep, as people judged him based off his name, his look, and what they heard from a song or two. But slowly but surely, people were beginning to give his music a shot and appreciate the uniqueness of his sound. Just look at these Google trends for the month before he passed and earlier. It's crazy the trajectory he was on. And lastly, Peep was so gifted musically. His ability to come up with catchy melodies and utilize his voice to glide over his production was one of a kind, and went on to influence many. There was a reason as to why he was the most popular in his scene, and his music had a lot to do with it. As I said earlier, seeing his music blow since his passing shows that there was no question that his music had the potential to cross over. However, he just wasn't at that level yet. But as I discussed, there were various factors that lead me to believe that Peep was the one destined to take this punk rock hip hopish sound to the mainstream. From his image, his appeal to girls, his label situation, to how he was continuing to grow, I think it was a real possibility that Peep was destined to blow up regardless. regardless. And that's all from me today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to let me know what you think about the video and where you think Peep would have been at right now. Please make sure to like, subscribe, follow your boy on all social medias, and last but not least, rest in peace Lil Peep.